So I'm an experimenter. That's the way that I like to live my life. Actually, it's just sort of the way that I have to. I've discovered this about myself over the years that I do a lot better in the stage of creating something, not necessarily seeing it all the way through. That's probably why I am making things for the internet in this sort of, not throwaway manner, but in a manner that is easy because that's just what makes the most sense to me. I think it's important for people to sort of find the thing that they do that is easy for them to do. And this is something I am messing with on a daily basis. It's like, what is easy to do? I think for me, the easiest thing is to write songs with other people. That's where I do a really good job with that. I can also finish songs, like the production and all that stuff. But when it comes just down to like writing something immediately on the spot, I do pretty well like that. And so what I'm doing right now is an experiment. So I am filming myself and it's recording into my computer. What's up over there? And then I'm live streaming here. It's an experiment. I'm trying new stuff. I'm seeing like, okay, what happens if I do this and do this at the same time? It's weird because the idea of like creating things and giving value, which I can't stand that word. I can't stand it, but it is the truth. Because I think when anybody is like looking at stuff on the internet, they're looking for, what am I getting out of this? If you're watching this right now, you might be saying, were you going to say something that's like interesting or whatever about like music or something? Maybe not. Maybe you're just like, hey, I'm bored. I'm just watching this dude talking to a microphone. That's cool. But I'm always looking for that stuff on the internet. I'm always looking for like, how is this going to help me do things? How is this going to help me with something? Is it going to entertain me, inspire me, educate me? I don't know. But yeah, I'm always thinking about that and just sort of like trying. I think trying things that you've never done before is a very powerful way to do everything, especially with songwriting. Because with songwriting, you can just, it's like we want to have a systematic way of doing everything. I know. We want to be like, that's the way. We do it this way every single time. But if there was a way to do it every single time, then would there be too much magic? Would there be too much cool shit? No, I don't know. I think it's like there's something to that, trying the new thing in the new space, that is the magic. I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's okay too. This is an experiment, like I said. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Hope you are feeling inspired, creatively filled, creatively packed. Yeah, it's nice to have. I'm doing this again. I said this is a live stream I'm doing on YouTube. What up, YouTube? I'm gonna put, or sorry, on Instagram. I don't even know the formats. This is gonna be on Instagram, but I'm also gonna put this on YouTube. I'm just trying shit. I have this really cool idea for a podcast that's basically having, hanging out with somebody and chatting with them, and then for like an hour, and then writing a song on the spot with like a pre-existing track to show that process and how fast that can unfold. I think that would be awesome. Writing of any kind doesn't always follow a certain path of creation. I agree with that. A lot of scripts come from random scenes. Agreed. Yeah, I think that's the thing that's tricky, is like the randomness of everything. It makes it like I think the only thing that we can contain is the doing it over and over and following the feeling of inspiration. That's the only thing that we can like chase that. Which leads me into, you guys should go check out my Underlick Masterclass if you haven't already, because it helps you do that. But that's honestly the way that I've figured out how to sort of channel getting inspired to write songs, is using the Underlick, because that has been the... Actually, it's like sort of once I figured that out, it made writing songs in general super easy. So, and maybe that's why I've made so many videos about it, because it's like that feeling of creating something is very fun, and I want to spread that to as many people. And I'm like, I think almost it's more important for me to show people the process of how you can be creative. Like, it's not the way, it's just a way that you can be, because, I've sat in the room with people many times before where they don't have anything to say and they don't know what to do, and they're sort of looking to you to do something. And I just wish there was something that existed that was showing the process of writing songs. I wish that it existed 10 years ago. But at the same time, I'm kind of stoked because I'm like, ooh, I could make that. I think that'd be pretty cool. And I don't really have a problem showing that process on camera. And I think it was cut down to be nice and tight, but then also like you can watch the full thing if you wanted to. I would mess around with that on that red couch. Who do we get on the red couch? Yeah, it's coming together slowly but surely. But again, it's like sometimes what I'll find myself doing is just biting off more than I can chew with creating things. Like right now, okay, this is an experiment. Right now, I'm thinking, oh, it's kind of easier for me just to talk to myself when I'm not paying attention to the fact that there's people on the screen, right? But I'm here to do a live. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do it like this, but I'm trying it. I got to try. It's like I loved the idea of trying something so you know what doesn't work. Does this work? Partially. I can feel that it's partial. I feel like my attention is slightly like in and out, but that's like that's like the cool thing about sort of trying new things is that you can learn by learning what it is that doesn't work, you can learn what works. It's not a failure, it's not negative, it's just directions on where we need to go. And it sounds like some like floaty doty, but it is. I was watching a video clip of me the other day and noticed how much I said So I'm going to try to practice that. Lack of which I can cut out in an edit, but when I'm just talking straight up like this, it's a little bit more real. My baked in habits come clear. And I will say that anyone that's watching this, do you have any questions? I'm here to answer and here to help out. I'm just going to be chilling on here for a little while, recording this thing, seeing how it goes. And you were at the edge of your comfortable, which is why we love you. Well, I appreciate that, Joe. I don't have my glasses on, Joe. Yeah, I think that's I love to live in that place that's at the edge of the comfort zone. Writing songs is one of those things that's like is like really always on that edge. Like I can think of the feeling of being in a session where you have an idea in your head and you want to say it, but then you're like, I don't know, that might be not cool. And then you say it anyways, and the other person's like, that's cool. So like being in a mode while you're being creative of just saying stuff and getting it out can oftentimes be one of the most powerful things to do. I'll find myself in songwriting sessions where, like my buddy Tom, we're going to be writing a song tomorrow or finishing something, and we'll do something where I'll just say shit. I'll just say stuff. I'll just be talking, just saying stuff, and he'll just latch on to little bits and be like, ooh, take that, ooh, take that, ooh, take that. And I can be that for people sometimes as well. And you're just sort of allowing, I don't know, it's what the distance between the thoughts that are in your head versus the sounds that are entering into, or like the vibrations that are turning into sounds into people's heads. What a trip that is. I mean, that's everything. Do you have your music on Spotify? So, in regards to my music, okay, because I get asked this question. So, as far as Vibe Machine, there's one song that is on there that was put out like 6 months ago, just as like a little bit. It's kind of, I'm in the middle of building this thing right now. So I've played in a band, many bands, but one band in particular for like 10 plus years, and all of our music's on Spotify. It's called MIDI Matilda. So you go and search MIDI Matilda, you'll see our music on there. As far as this project is a little different, where I have a ton of songs that have been written for this project, and that's where sort of this podcast idea of this long form thing that I'm going to be doing is going to come into place, where I really want to sort of create something that works as almost a band meets music publishing meets record label experience, where we are writing songs and showing that process of writing the songs, and then saying, hey audience, you, whoever it is, here's this library of these songs that you just got to watch written. It's a brand new song. You can take that song and record it and release it if you want to, sort of as a collaboration. So it's like, what if so you would be able to, because my whole thing is like, trying to help people obviously write their music, but I also love writing music. I'm not like just some fucking person just like talking about stuff. I mean, I am in many ways. I'm just talking about shit. But I want to, like, imagine if there was a show, okay? It starts in this room right here. Someone comes over, right? And we're going to hang out. We're going to talk about process. We're just going to be just shooting the shit like the way we would normally do, but also talking about just creating things. And there's going to be a robot that's going to interject questions into it to steer it in interesting places. And then we'll be like, all right, we got 60 minutes. We have a track already that's existing. We're going to write a song right now. And by setting the limitations of that, I think that can breed a lot of creativity because I've seen really incredible songs written really fast. And I think I want to show that on camera. Maybe not with the microphone like this, like directing, because it's like, little weird ideas don't sound as good that way. But maybe like I flip the microphone, you hear the room, and you hear the track going, and we got to pump out a song which means lyric and melody, in that amount of time, and then by saying at the end, these are all sort of thoughts. I'm like working this out right now, where it's like to say, hey, if you want to use this song, part of this library, you can go and grab either the underlick, or you could grab the instrumental, or you could grab the entire song and record it and release it as a collaboration, which that benefits a lot of different people because if we're writing really awesome songs, which they may not always be awesome, but if we're writing a great song that people are inspired by and want to use them, then that's really helpful for people if we wrote something that's really awesome and then this new artist wants to use that song, it's going to help elevate them. No different than like if it was like a pop star, right? Sort of treating everybody as a pop star, and this will be the laboratory of writing the songs that you could watch the process so that you can improve your songwriting as well, and be educated but also inspired. Watch how the thing was created and basically latch onto it before anybody else could and release it, but anybody could release the record of the song, I guess I would say. And so that's sort of the thing, because I have this sort of big vision of creating interactive songs where you can sort of change between the different productions of the song in real time. And so this is sort of my way of bridging the gap towards that by helping people get better, creating an environment to be able to write as much music as possible, and sort of, because when it's done in a private experience, nobody gets to see it. And I think that's what I would like to see. And I just think that'd be awesome. And I think I think the sky's the limit for that. If I can basically desensitize myself, because I feel confident in showing myself writing songs on camera, but if I can really desensitize myself from that, I think it becomes very helpful for other people. And I think it would just be really cool to elevate other people that are like songwriters or whoever, and even show people that don't write songs, write a song with them anyways, and show them that they can do that. I think that's a really cool thing. And I just think I think the sky's the limit with that, like dream situation would be, it's this studio or it's some other studio. It's like, we got Ed Sheeran in here, and Ed Sheeran's, we're going to shoot the shit. You're going to watch how he writes a song. I'll be the conduit to sort of be that bridge, between the people and that, to show that the song that's written, it's not going to be an Ed Sheeran song. It'll be a song that everybody could use for their own thing. It's an open source, and the ownership of that split between the people that are working on it, that are like using it, and the people that wrote it, and maybe even a part of it's like automatically goes to some cool charity or something. There's sort of like a whole system to it where people are learning how songs can be written, and they also have access to the elements that were used to do it in the library. And so it's a really big idea, and I'm just sort of like, it's just me in my head right now doing this. And but I've been working on this in different ways over the last handful of years of figuring out how to pull it off, and a system to be just to not overwhelm myself. And that's what I found, is that like I can pump out songs really fast with other people. Like I do well with just like, we got 60 minutes, let's go. And we can make something that's pretty solid. I feel pretty good about that. And I just love people so much. And I love interacting with people and connecting with others and building relationships, elevating other people, getting elevated from other people. I love that all the possibilities of that are very exciting to me. And because it's like, I can make shit in my room by myself, which I do, when I make stuff with other people too. It's just not as fun when you're by yourself. And I think it's just more fun to make stuff with other people. And so that's one of the things I'm working on, and getting into just a flow for the editing and the whole thing. So that's one thing. You guys said some stuff. I'm going to look. You are fiercely scratching and looking to unearth magic moments, scratching towards resonates moments. Cool. Yeah, Joe. That's my mission. Yeah, it's a really good idea. Appreciate you. Hell yeah, that look behind the curtain can be so practical and helpful. I agree. This show would be awesome. Do it, man. Yeah, I'm going to do it. So right now I'm filming a video like on YouTube as well as doing this live right here. I'm just getting in the flow of doing YouTube. I don't post shit on there, but I posted a couple things. So go follow me on there. I'll post this video and I've posted a couple. I'm really not putting like a ton of effort into it. I haven't posted the shorts really, but I am going to be building on there because I think YouTube is such a solid platform where I really feel connected in to people in the long form sense of things. And watch YouTube while I'm doing dishes or whatever it is, making dinner. And I think just like the showing of the process, it's just not shown. It's not. And would you want to do it live or would it work digitally as well? I live in Netherlands. So I've thought about it being live, maybe, possibly. But I think what's really important is to not have, it's not a matter of any one person. It's not having outside influence too much to the creative process to where it can mess with the flow of it. I think that's very sensitive, and that's probably the reason why cameras are not allowed in a lot of situations like that. And so for me, it's like to have something feel invisible. Like if my buddy Tom's coming over tomorrow, right? There's no cameras going. There's none of the stuff. So if I can create an environment that feels as natural as this, but is able to access all that magic and then take that 2 hours and like have that be a version, but also cut it down so it's like, it's not every moment of every dull moment, because sometimes when you're making something, it's not all the cool moments happening nonstop. It's there's some downtime, and so you can cut that stuff out. It's not helpful to people necessarily, but if they want to see that, they could also see that. And I think the goal with that, morning from Australia, what up? I think with that, what's cool is that you could just show the process of writing songs in a way that I think would be the most helpful way. I'm 22-year-old independent artist, and I manage a mainstream artist on the side. Haven't heard a similar story to get advice. Any thoughts? Manage a mainstream artist. I don't know what that means. Sorry, I'm sometimes a little stupid. Not gonna lie, but explain further. And yeah, just sort of yapping on here, chilling, and I don't know. It's not the most like words of wisdom type of like video that I'm making right now, but maybe I need to separate those things. Sometimes you got to separate those parts of your brain. Just tap in. One version you're talking to people live and reacting, and the other you're just making stuff. I can sit in a room and talk to myself for probably 2 hours straight. Not a problem. But it's more helpful to, I think, watch something be created. There's a couple songwriting podcasts that are where they're talking about who the person is and this and that, and I'm like, that's cool. I like that, but I want to see them